How's the yurt life? What's that like?
It's great, actually. I love it.
Oh, what's the difference between like living in a rectangular space and then living in a circular one?
Yes, there actually is a big difference. You got to live it to see it. I don't know how to explain it, but definitely since I've been living in like a round space, it's definitely has an influence on your thinking and on your mood and your mind and your ideas. And also it's not just the roundness of it. It's definitely something, though. I don't know how to describe it, but there's no doubt when I enter that space, it's not the same as in a house. Okay. But there's also the way it's constructed. There's like a window above, right? That's, I don't know if you're familiar with
Oh, at the center.
yurts.
Yeah, the apex, right?
Yeah, there's like a dome, and it's like a transparent dome at the top. That's where all the light comes in. So it's you have natural light. Basically, it's just always natural light, and that's not the same too. It's really not the same as light bulbs. It's not the same mood. It's not the same. It causes you to see nature a lot more. Like now I know, like I can tell what temperature it is now, just by feel. And I always know what time it is too now. I always know what time it is. I don't need to look at watch. I always know, because I'm used to it now. I know where the sun is, like, because the way it's constructed, the sun goes into the top, and then it almost creates a clock. It almost creates a clock in the yurt. If you know, you see where the sun lands, and then it moves. So it's weird, but now I guess more in touch with nature. I guess it just happened. And also, like, now I notice a lot of things that I didn't notice before, because I'm basically living surrounded by animals, and lots of weird things happening in the forest during the night. Sometimes there's some weird stuff happening. It happens often, actually. Like I wake up, and then I feel some like energy. I'm excited for some reason. I don't know why. And then all of a sudden, the animals they start screaming all around, like wolves and coyotes and owls. Whoa. All of a sudden, like all of them at once. And the weird thing is, I wake up before it happens. That's not what wakes me up. Like I wake up and I feel like, excited or something. I feel energy. And then I know, it's like I know it's gonna happen. I don't know how to describe it. It just is. I know it's gonna. I know there's energy in the air. Okay, and then all the animals all of a sudden go nuts. The wolves, and like I just said. And then now I'm used to it. I mean, because it happens at least maybe twice a week or so. Right in the middle of the night, there's like an orchestra of animals all of a sudden. It happens often. It's not that weird. It just happens when you live in the woods. At one point, you start noticing certain things.
Yeah. So it seems like you're in a space. I mean, like your walls are canvas cloth, right?
Yeah, well, it's like a more of a modern yurt where it's made of modern materials. So it's it's canvas, but it's not textile. It's like I don't know what it is exactly, but it's a kind of a rubbery kind of more like a tent. It's not cloth, but I mean it has the same.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it is
intrigued. You have me thinking about like what it's like to actually be inside of there. Like, so you have light emitting from the center of like this circular place. Like, do you feel like you're, like, to use your terminology, more engaged, more engrossed in the realm of time, or of that of space?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm really, really aware now of the temperature, the humidity. When the sun rises, when it goes down, I know the cycles of the moon now. I always know what cycle, what the moon is in which cycle, like which phase of the cycle. I mean, because I see it now. And it's like now I notice, how cold it is at night. I never used to know that. Like usually when you're in a house, you don't know that it's cold outside during the night. You're just sleeping. You got a good heating.
You have a wood burning stove?
Oh yeah, I have to wake up in the middle of the night to during the winter. I have to, like, let's say maybe wake up at least once a night to make a fire. Even now, like it's abnormally cold right now for this this month. And yeah, I got to get up at like 3 and make a fire. You got to do it, or else it reaches like below 0 temperatures.
Wow.
So, but you get used to it. It's you can get used to anything. It's actually, there's something good about it. When you get up in the middle of the night, this is actually when I have a lot of my more profound insights. It's when I get up in the middle of the night, like at 3 a.m. is a good time to think. I don't know why, but it's just the fact that I've noticed. It's just like by experience. And then you have a clearer understanding of simple things. And sometimes I think about stories from the Bible, and certain things I'm trying to understand. And then when I wake up in the middle of the night to like build a fire or something like that, this is usually when I have some insights.
Matthieu, what would you say is like a day in the life of Matthieu Pageau in the yurt life?
Well, there's a lot of chores, to be honest. Yes, there's a lot of chopping of wood. There's a lot of getting water. Oh, it's true. It's like when you notice at one point that life is about eating, sleeping, getting water. We use a lot of water. Like humans use a lot of water. I'm amazed sometimes at how much water I use, because when you have to go get it, when you have to go fill up some containers and bring it, you notice how much water you use, and it's a heck of a lot, to be honest. I never would have imagined how much water we use. And I'm not saying that in it like an ecological sense of wasting water or anything like that. It's just I never would have thought I used so much water. It's like we use water for everything, like you gotta clean dishes, you gotta cook. It's so much water that you use. Like you don't notice it when you have a tap, it's not a big deal. You just put water in. But when you gotta go get it and you gotta carry it, you're like, man, I use so much water. It's like you get big jugs and I got enough for a few days, but no, you got enough for one day. You know what I mean? And also same thing, chopping a lot of wood. I'm always chopping wood now. It's like I'm getting good at it, actually. But I mean, these are all activities that you can do and think. It's not like it doesn't use my mind to do these things. This is the good part of it. You can. I think that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be engaged in like manual work, and at the same time always be reflecting. That's my opinion. I think we've lost that because we most of us have jobs where we have to use our mind, but we're not using our mind for really deep thinking. We're using our mind to do these tasks.
Right.
And then so we might think it's better to have an intellectual job. We might think that, but in a way it's not, because your mind is being used for the task. While on the other hand, if you're doing manual stuff, your mind can still operate. You can still think. The manual work becomes good for someone who's interested in intellectual pursuits.